Alright, deck tech. And please remember to like and subscribe. You can always unlike and unsubscribe at the end if you don't like it, but I don't want you all to forget. And please, it helps out a lot with the channel growth. It's really been helping. Anyway, um, yeah, so I actually have been messing around with this version a little bit for the Obosh specific version. I trophied with this companionless version. I'm very satisfied with this companionless version, but as you can see, we're very close to being able to play Obosh. The only thing is this has to become, Cleansing Wildfire has to become Geomancer's Gambit so we can accommodate Obosh, and Obliterating Bolt has to turn on into good old-fashioned Flame Slash, which is fine because Flame Slash was historically the card we preferred, even in companionless versions over Obliterating Bolt. It's starting to change for the companionless, but this is a very, very justifiable swap, in my humble opinion. And lastly, we just play good old Den of the Bugbear instead of Shatter Skull Smashing. And so it's like we're not too far off. The biggest change is the sideboard. Now we could obviously just jam, Cast into Fire into the Obosh sideboard, and just lose access to Obosh in games 2 and 3. That is an option. Yeah, I suppose another alternate way we could go about this is we could play Cast into Fire and Cleansing Wildfire in the sideboard, kind of like a mirror image. Cleansing Wildfire in the SB, Geomancer in the main deck, so we can accommodate Obosh. We could do that, but since we're playing Obosh, and since we kind of want to have a distinct deck anyway, I think I'm gonna play good old-fashioned Blood Moon, and yeah, I think I like this because the Geomancers can be pretty good together with Blood Moon effects because we can take care of the only few possible basics they might have. And if Blood Moon isn't good, we still have the regular old Strip Mine plus Blast Zone package. I think, yeah, I have messed around with this a little bit. I think I've only gotten 3-2 so far, but this felt good enough. The only thing I'm uncertain about is, do I play Geomancers in the main and Blood Moon on the side, or vice versa? I probably don't want to play Magus in the main because it just gets lightning bolted. Although admittedly, Magus could be a main deckable card, now that I think about it. It does shut off our lands, but we can shut off our own Magus if we really need to, or chump with it or something. Like it gives us the ability to unlock our lands to a greater extent, and it will color screw certain opponents. So Magus in the main could be a good play. I'm kind of inclined more to play Blood Moon in the main, but not 100% on that. Either way, that's the only possible difference. You never know. Well, anyway, see how the games go, and yep. And this will be live commentary. Hope you enjoy. Okay, okay. Let's see. Well, this one is going to be a keep. I mean, we don't have much disruption game 1. I guess we actually do have the Strip Mine effect, a little bit powered down because we have to use Geomancer instead of the Cleansing Wildfire because of Obosh. But we have a lot of moon disruption in the sideboard, so anyway, not much reason not to lead on stone. If we happen to be up against Scam, then this will stop scamming shenanigans. The one problem with Stone of Erech, though, is that it only actually sets off Scam on the play. I have a feeling that this was partially to try to help against Scam, and it probably looks like it is Scam. Most likely it could be, coffers or something, but unfortunately I don't think there was a way around this. I don't think there was a way that they could have made stone not be broken, but also, yeah, the Scam, but also, yeah. So I don't think I'm gonna cycle it. Yeah, and we happen to rip the card that they took, which is good for us. I have a feeling they've got Bowmaster, so don't crack this yet. Plus, it is, stopping the scamming. So, and I love the way it stops the scamming without us even having to pay a mana. Okay, I have a feeling if they had Bowmaster, actually, they would have played that first and then Lightning Bolted, but who knows. I feel like they'd probably play Bowmaster on the upkeep if they had it, but maybe not. This could be risky, but I think I'm going to ditch the Geomancer. Maybe the Flame Slash too. Yeah, I'll ditch the Flame Slash too, unless if they play a Bowmaster, they'll probably go for Unholy Heat. Okay. Because it just enables us to dig further into our deck. See, we want to kind of hit a land here, for example. Let's continue applying pressure. A lot of times, he who draws more Fables, Pyromancers, Furies, etc., is likely to win in these types of attrition-based matchups. But we generally have more of these types of cards. Yeah, hopefully they don't have land and reveal like a Spyro or a Fable. Anything else, I think it's not too bad. Yeah, that's actually not too bad, because if they crack it, we still get it to use it out of the graveyard. It's a little better for them because they have to spend less total mana, and they get to have a little more flexibility in how they use that card, but overall, yeah. I think I'm actually just going to discard the Flame Slash. I actually like the Demolition Field. It's not just a vanilla land. Yeah, I think I'm gonna hit something right now. I'll probably hit this. Could have put Obosh to hand too, but nope. Most of the time they don't play Mountain. So note to self, I think the field strategy is going to be a little less effective when they have a basic Mountain, because you'd be surprised in a lot of the scam variants we can actually keep them off of red, since they don't usually need Mountain, because usually they okay, that's fine. Usually they are only concerned about Blood Moon for disruption. Okay, that's fine. I think I might take this opportunity to crack. No, I'm not going to crack the stone. I'm not. Because I think it's worth shutting off there. On the other hand, being able to cast Fury is really nice, but I really want to cut out this. I really want to. Yeah. So we've got some options here. One option, we could play Fury, copy it, try to go to town. This could be a mistake here, but it's just kind of a little too tempting. I think we've got enough card advantage and whatnot that we don't necessarily have to worry too much. Right, let's see if they. Okay, yeah, you'd think they would hit the Fable rather than the Fury. Maybe not, but part of me wants to put Obosh to hand, but probably better to Mishra, just because we don't actually have our 5th land yet. Plus we get an yeah, okay. Alright. Not the sequence exactly I was hoping for, but Seasoned Pyromancer is a little too tempting when we've got two Fables. Plus, the best card against Ragavan is actually not Lightning Bolt, it's actually Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, fair enough. This also makes me feel better about pitching the Fury. Okay, let's see, do we have Delirium, Enchantment, Creature, Land, Sorcery? Yep. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't actually pitch both of these. But something we can do, and I think we will, is we'll hit this first. No, 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 no. Might as well do this. Yeah, it sucks using Unholy Heat. That's a very good card. Let me pick up another removal spell. Alrighty. Scam is definitely a bread and butter good matchup for us for the most part. Alright, they take the removal spell. Should still be fine. Probably attack first, then field. Then maybe put Obosh to hand. They're definitely playing Seasoned Pyromancer. Okay, we're going to do this. Eventually, if we draw into enough of these, we will start grinding out their lands. This stone probably doing a lot of work. Right, no reason to keep this in our hand. Alrighty. We're getting close to put Obosh in hand and play at same turn. Yeah, that's fine. Nothing good thing to play out that desk. And you already used 2 Furies. Okay, well. I think I'll take the trade. I have to, give them a 2-for-1, but I mean, this card actually is not really a 2-for-1 because I still get, yeah, I'm fine to take that. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So I can actually use field and flashback Seasoned Pyromancer. I'll attack, offer the trade. I like chipping away at their life total. Okay. So it'll kind of give up the goose on what we have in our hand, but I think I'll play out the field. The reason being is that maybe we want to actually hold this in our hand for another Fable if we draw it. Okay, not sure. I mean, that's what they can be thinking about because they already chose not to block. Okay. Alright. Another field right is. And I think they play one more swamp, and I think that's it. But they may actually have the last swamp in their hand. Pitching. Nope. And we'll try to double block. If they kill one of the tokens, so be it. At least, even if they kill one of these, at least we still blocked it and prevented 3 damage. They might play Bowmaster. I would have played Bowmaster before blocks if I were them. They have to deal damage. I don't think they're gonna win the late game. I'm still more than happy that I blocked. Alrighty. So should we attack? Yeah, you know what? It's Obosh time. Yeah. Alright, fine by me. So they could terminate this, but still trying to grind out value. This should be a strip mine by now. They're up 4. Okay. Blood Moon. Okay. Probably just attack with Grief. That's fine by me. Okay. Go back to block. Also works. And good thing Research Desk does not technically count as a draw. Just much to my liking. Well, there's a Fury. Don't mind if I do. Ooh, that's going to be a concede. Okie dokie. I think we have a sideboard here for them. Honestly, the only card I'm a little concerned about is sometimes they bring in Chalice. Mostly because I think they have Chalice on 0. Mostly because I think they have, their plan is to play Chalice on 0 for the Cascade matchups, but they can play it on 1 against us, but it does shut off a lot of their deck. The problem is, like I may have gone over in the deck tech. I'm just kind of accepting that I may have to stomach a little bit of issues with Chalice. I don't think I'm gonna have to rely on my Seasoned Pyromancers and Fables to just pitch 1-drops. Yeah, this unfortunately is a clear-cut mulligan. Alrighty. Yeah, this is a clear-cut keep. Out of all these cards, Geomancer is clearly the most speculative as far as how good it's going to be. Oh, they mulled more than we did. Alright, so yeah, if they weren't a Ragavan deck, I'd probably play out the Research Desk, but maybe not even, because a lot of red decks that aren't Ragavan decks are Prismatic Ending decks, and I wouldn't want this to get Prismatic Ending. Alright. Do this. Only card that I don't want to see off of this would be a Fury. Stuck on 2 lands. Oof. I really want to take Spyro, but this is actually going to walk right into a Bowmaster potentially. Still, I think I have to take it. I thought about it. I think this is a little mistimed because they're not going to be able to actually kill the Pyromancer, but they will be able to kill the tokens. Actually, I'm going to do this here. So they can actually choose Pyromancer or token, fine. Deal. Now I have Delirium. So I may want to use the Heat on the Orc Army, because I would hate for this to get pumped by another Bowmaster. That's one of the few ways I can see losing this one. Alrighty. Okay, let's get this one out. Now let's play this one actually too. Let's get this one out. This way we can empty our whole hand in case of Thoughtseize or something. Alright, that's fine. I don't think I'm going to take this opportunity to bolt this while they're tapped out for another Bowmaster. I'm just going to wait on the Research Desk because I'm probably going to tank the 1 if I die exactly to a top deck Lightning Bolt at 3 life later on, then we'll know where we went wrong. The reason why is if I reveal Fury, I want to be able to cast it. Okay. Alright. Maybe I should have actually played the Demolition Field to flash back the Spyro. But my plan instead is to field this on upkeep. I kind of like firing my fields off early. Although normally deck thinning doesn't make a difference when you go through as many cards as we do, I do actually find it makes a difference flooding in the late game. That being said, it probably did make a mistake by not just holding up Spyro. I see very little downside to doing this. I'm actually going to take my chances with Gambit because I can take them off a red. Oh, great, and I got some backup too. Oops, actually I forgot to bolt the Orc first. Maybe it works out for the better, actually. I kind of prefer using the Flame Slash. But now I wish I had 2 more red up instead of just 1. But now I basically have them cut off a red mana. Ugh, so I apologize. I've been kind of misplaying left and right, but I mean, if this doesn't show, well, okay, this doesn't show because they mulliganed to 5. So to be fair, this doesn't show actually Jack, but okay. So you know what I'm actually going to do? I'm going to cycle the stone. I am going to go down to 12, which is a little risky because I died a quad bolt. Okay, never mind. Let's just hit this thing now, since they're going to take the other one. Maybe I should have actually done Unholy Heat, because that's a bolt they could fire off at our face later on. Okay. I do not want this to get suddenly discarded. And as you can see, I got punished for holding up a colorless source, just another misplay in a long source of misplays. I'm not going to put Obosh to hand. I want to wait until I have 8 mana, because I want to make their discard spells totally dead. Yeah, even though it might seem like we're overloading on colorless, I just really want to keep them off of red for the rest of the game. Okay, so we've got a removal spell, which is nice. Could put Obosh to hand, but I think I'd rather do this, because if we reveal a removal spell, actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to hit this. Just thin a little bit before we research desk. Seasoned Pyromancer would normally be better here, but my fear of Bowmaster is very real. Normally I don't recommend this, folks, but I'm going to take this one. If they play Bowmaster, I think I hold back. If they don't, I attack. Simple as that. Simple as that. Okay. Kind of wish I took Spyro now, but if they draw one next turn, I could actually lose if I play Spyro. Take too much damage, deal with 2 big Van Army token. You know how it goes. kind of tempted to crack this, but I'm not for two reasons. One is because I want to blank their not dead after all / undying effects, and two, I don't want to make myself vulnerable to discard. Well, since one of those two conditions were not met, I think I'm going to crack this at end of turn. I really want to draw into a removal spell here. I guess this is kind of a removal spell. Not exactly what I had in mind. Let's, I could attack with Bugbear, actually. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus this. Gonna tank some damage, but we could go on the offensive. Yeah, you know what? Change of plans, actually. I am going to go on the offensive. Thinking. I may actually want to just pump the Blast Zone. Alright, sorry again. Change of plans back. No, not that. Yeah. Because if I may want to use the extra treasure token to pump this up to 2. Okay, never mind. Change of plans. We're going to play the Seasoned Pyromancer. While they are tapped out and can't Bowmaster. Let's see what they can do. Flame Slash, Geomancer, Lightning Bolt. They have some options, but I think actually Dauthi Voidwalker is kind of bigger game for them than these other options that they've exiled from us. Unless they can like Thoughtseize and then play, and then hit this other Seasoned Pyromancer. That actually would probably be a big game for them. Although this Shadow is obviously a pretty big game for them. I do have quite the board state, none of which can block the Voidwalker though. It was a mistake to crack that Stone of Erech. I did go through so much of my deck, I kind of thought I'd probably see another one by now. Oh, well, it turns out that they don't have Undying. I mean, if I were them, I'd side them out anyway. So I guess they probably sided them out. I'd probably do Fable if I were them. Yeah, because they need the red mana. Alright. Actually, I'm kind of glad they didn't attack. Okay, stone. I think I'm going to discard the stone if they let me. Okay, they did not. That's fine. I still might discard one. No, actually, I don't think I will. I think I will not. Instead, I think I'll play this. I'll play this. 2, 3, 4, 5. So I have enough to flash back and to pump to 2. Kind of don't want to attack, actually. Maybe I'll just attack with 1. Seems like a reasonable compromise. At least I got a treasure token out of that. Alright, so they're probably going to attack. Just that? Okay. I think I'm going to try to block with the Spyro tokens. It's just slightly better value. I mean, and if they kill it, no big deal. These are kind of throwaway anyway. Okay. Actually slightly ahead of me on the clock. Okay, fair enough. They've drawn a tiny fraction of lands I have, but at least I can unlock Spyro now. The Splash Zone on 2. Don't mind if I do. Okay. 2, 3. Get this. 3. Yeah. It's really kind of coming up on Millhouse, I think, for us here. It's probably very frustrating on their side. It looks like we're drawing like a madman, but I do feel like the reality is closer to just we're pretty much their deck, just without the late game dud discard spells. No offense to them, I mean those discard spells are kind of a monster in a lot of matchups, and definitely makes a difference in a lot of the matchups that we could kind of use those discard spells in. But the trade-off has obviously got to be that they're kind of in more of a pickle here. When we're kind of like their deck, just kind of totally optimized for the fair matchups, whereas they're kind of a little more balanced, fair and unfair. So it's kind of unreasonable for them to expect to be able to beat us. For the same reason, it'd be unreasonable for us to expect to have as good of an unfair matchup. We don't, and it would be pretty arrogant to expect that we did. But there's trade-offs in Magic, and that's just how the cookie crumbles. Kind of expecting a concession here. Yep. But yeah, so it goes. Hey, we actually played pretty quick. Props to them. All right. So we're gonna get to match 2. Research desk. Yeah. I think research desk is the way to go. I'm gonna make sure we hit our 3rd land drop. Hopefully. Oh, it's Hardened Scales. Okay, so that's good. I'll wait on Mishra's research desk, because if they play a creature, we want to have the option to play a removal spell out of exile. Okay, good thing we got the field. Automaton, okay. Alright, it's a little not our first choice. Alright, well, I guess we are gonna move through our library. This kind of sucks. But we have to do this one, I guess. And we're just gonna hope to cheese them out with Fable shenanigans, I guess. I'm gonna tank because I want to be able to both Field of Ruin and play Seasoned Pyromancer. It's going to be a 4/4. That's fine. Okay. Maybe we can tank one more hit. Let's think about it. Yeah, I can't one-shot anyway, so I might as well just do this. And then at least Unholy Heat is deliriumed up. Unfortunately, the patchwork is probably going to get out of range. I'm just going to hope to indefinitely chump block, probably. 2/2 walking ballista. They've got to be giving some consideration to just wiping the tokens. Because then if I tank, this will go down to 4/4, but then 5/5 with the Plating Moth. They could deal at least 12 damage. Okay, we're definitely going to chump. Okay. Unfortunately, they can smack my Kiki. Okay. I think I need to do this. Okay. That's fine. I think we're going to play this one. So they are going to be heavily incentivized to pump the walking ballista. So we'll respond with, I think, a lightning bolt. Okay. Well, they're going to be able to take down the Kiki anyway, and I can't, and I have to block the patchwork. So might as well do this, I guess. Maybe I should have responded to the welding jar now that I think about it. I guess that's why. Yeah, but then I lose my token. Alright, well, I need to do something about that Urza Saga. But the problem is, I'm just going to die. I just don't have much choice, I think. Okay. Alright, well that came a little late. doesn't double click. So Blast Zone is obviously really good, but I need to actually draw it. Can at least take out 2 of these. I think this is a matchup for Magus. We don't want actual Blood Moon, we want Magus, because... No, actually, we don't want Magus, because it's going to shut off our Haywire Mite. Do we want Geomancer? Probably not necessary. Yeah, Geomancer is probably the easiest cut. Actually, Stone isn't necessary either. Oh, actually could be. It's good against stuff. Good against Hangerback Walker at least. So I have a Blast Zone, which should help. I'm going to wait on cracking this one. Hopefully I don't drop Saga and Automaton. Okay, I dropped Saga but not Automaton. I can live with that. Ooh, I think I gotta hit Saga though. It's just there's no universe in which this is incorrect. Yeah, we could get the Force later. Alright, well, I'm sure they would generate, but this is still, I think, clearly the correct play. I think I have to do this. I need more. Yeah. I wanted to play the Fable so bad, but I have to respond to them pumping the Walking Ballista with an Unholy Heat. Otherwise it's going to get a little out of hand. So many frickin' welding jars. I think that messes with the target. Maybe not. Okay, never mind. Well, I mean, it's something, I guess, right? You can pump it up to a 6/6, I guess, if they really want. If they don't shoot it down, I'm definitely going to block. And it's in lightning bolt range again, so I guess there's that. Yeah, it's got to be this, although could have tried to search for a lightning bolt, but the odds of it being in the top card, I don't particularly like it too bad. It's the same thing, it's just directly pumping it. Oh no, never mind, I guess I got one more. I'll tank it, fine. I guess we'll discard both. Normally this would be nice. Let's see if they shoot this down. If they do, maybe Fury gets him. Okay, this is what I think we have to do here. I have to play this. So let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to blow all my red mana, so what I think I actually need to do to have a shot is to do this. Unfortunately, I can't pitch the Seasoned Pyromancer from exile. Otherwise, I could have played Obosh. I gotta hit another burn spell, pretty much, I think. Two chances. I guess I can still hit Fury. Man. Alright, well, I guess I'm dead because they pump it up and then they... Okay. Next match, let's see, and this, I think, will be Scape. Alrighty. Alright, stone time. I don't think there's much reason to hold up. If we knew specifically we were playing burn and we could intercept a goblin guide, but we don't. Alright, it was human. That's we are in fact in the competitive leagues, so a little unusual to see humans, but hey, we'll take it. So since it's a little more efficient to hold up lightning bolt, we'll do that. Okay, champion of Zeparis. Hopeful initiate. Alright, let's just hit this. I might be a little too trigger happy with the creature removal. Let's just do this to just get this out of the way. Because if they play the Ardaline, I'll make sure I have an answer to that. Okay. Yep, see, I knew it. Oh, I thought that was going to be Ardaline. Still, I think this is better used on Peacekeeper than Initiate. I want to hit that Silent Clearing, but I think minimizing damage from that is probably better. So, plus it's, you know, mana efficient, I guess. I'm going to be in trouble if they play Ardaline, though, but if there's one card that maybe I could have let live, it was Noble Hierarch. Okay, it doesn't look like Ardaline yet. Still need to find answer to that, though. Let's hit the Silent Cleric now. Thin before my draw. It's minor difference, but I just couldn't tolerate drawing another basic. Okay, good. see, should I do this? Yeah, might as well, I guess. Yeah, that's a definite, obvious one. Just in case they have, like, what's it called? Shining Shoal. Actually, Stone might be doing more work than it seems to, because if they have a extraction specialist, like, oh, if they name Fable, I can pay for it, so they're probably gonna name Stone. Okay. I guess it makes sense since I'm heavily incentivized to play this. Might as well tax me while I'm doing it. What'll be next turn? I'm very glad that I saved the Flame Slash or the Peacekeeper as opposed to the Initiate. You know, I'm a little concerned if they can somehow put counters now, because they do have a good target in Fable, but we'll see. Finally, Arlene. Ooh, Mantis Rider, I haven't seen that in a while. Ooh, they trained. Let's see, so that's 7, 8, 9, 10. Should I block? Blocking is just so... Man, I take full responsibility if I end up losing this, but it's just so. Yeah, I think we can do better than field around. Yeah, I'd say that's better. So if we attack and they block, but why on earth would they block, right? Yeah, let's just do this. I can't, you know, play assuming they're going to misplay. I think them in a slightly better position than if I blocked last turn because they're less incentivized to attack this turn. Alright, well, never mind. I guess I still save slightly more damage. So... I guess I have to do this, don't I? I think this is slightly better. Come on, Flame Slash. I'm gonna dig for Flame Slash. Fury, maybe. Should have been good a while ago. So if they play a human, then I guess they got it. But yeah, hats off to the opponent. They actually pulled it off. Kind of some Furies earlier on could have helped a little more. In my experience, they usually draw what they need. Yep. Yeah, that's a little extra. Yeah, Stone was... They didn't seem to have Extraction Specialist. What is this here? My phone is lagging so bad, man. Oh, man, I hate this shit. Oh, come on. Right. Oh, Jesus just responding to a message takes a million years now. Oh, Geomancer for sure. This also is just way too inefficient for that game. So here's what I'm thinking, okay? I'm thinking definitely Magus. I can shut them out of the game, potentially. Blood Moon seems a little too iffy. Believe it or not, I'm going to play Haywire. Question is what to take out. I think I can take out a Demolition and a Field of Ruin. Because I think Haywire Mite's better than Stone. And even if I don't happen to have a green mana, it can still be a decent blocker. I can hit Aether Vial potentially, though, if I do have the green mana. No, this is, you know what, on second thought, I'll keep it, because I'd probably keep this if it was just green, red, Demolition Field, Lightning Bolt, Fury, Mr. Research Desk, so I shouldn't let the fact that I've got a second unnecessary green source deter me. So the question from last game is, maybe I shouldn't have bolted the bird. It's almost always correct, though, that Noble Hierarch. It's almost always correct to bolt the bird. It felt like the right decision at the time, but I kind of ran short a little bit on removal spells later on. What it was is I just didn't see a Fury, though, I think, in time. I burned through a lot of cards, I just didn't see Fury for some reason. Okay. So I'm going to play this, but I'm probably not going to crack it yet. Somebody asked about Mr. Research Desk once, and the advice I gave, which I realized maybe I don't follow myself as much as I should, is that I'm predicting this is okay. I thought this was going to be a Sanctifier in Vec. Yeah, is that I want to wait on Mr. Research Desk because I want to make sure I can cast what I draw, and if it's a removal spell, I want to make sure. Well, I guess Magus has got to be the play, right? Should I play Lightning Bolt? I mean, this could go sideways, but play around. I don't know. I don't know what I played around. Adeline, okay. Draw a red card to pitch. Probably want to play Magus and. Man, that's a good one, though. I still think I'm pitching, though. I definitely have to play this. You know what? Maybe I don't need to pitch. Because actually, card casting Fury next turn, I don't necessarily. Because I can block the token. So they still, like, most of their creatures are white. Oh, maybe I can't block the token. Yeah, I'm not going to block. Now, unfortunately, that Ardeline has Ward. Okay, that's good. So what I think I actually need to do is Fury the Copper Coat. And I have to only target the Copper Coat, unfortunately, otherwise I get countered from Ward. This could be a mistake, but I mean, I guess I could have played Unholy Heat on that Copper Coat and Fable. But this is just such a better blocker, though. Should I block the Ardeline? Tough call. Okay, they made it easy. I think I'm I'm just going to play this. I want to discard this for the delirium purposes. So oops, this to this. This to this. Maybe this to this. This to this. Yeah, I think so. So now I definitely have delirium, which is good. Ooh, juicy. Now I'm not sure I want to discard this anymore. Yeah, you know what? I don't want to discard it anymore. Hopefully they don't have some way to juke me in response. Alright. Feeling pretty decent about this one. Yeah, kind of lucky to only have white cards, but I'm obviously luckier to have Magus, period. And that's a scoop. I'll run it back. I felt much better in game one. Didn't feel like I had dead weight cards like Geomancer. Or to a lesser extent, Stone. Of course, Stone secretly would have been is great if they've got Extraction Specialist, but as of right now, it doesn't look like. Yeah, Haywire, but no way to get the ability, but still a 1-mana 1/1 that gains 2 life when it dies, which is actually not super bad in aggressive matchups. It's one of the things I like about Haywire Mite, is that it's actually pretty decent even when the opponent is. Oh, and if I draw a green source, I guess there's a green source somewhere down the line. They could dismember it though, but yeah, it's too much creature removal. Code Vanguard, okay. I think I'm probably gonna play Flame Slash and pay the ward. I could also pitch the Fury. This just has the potential to grow way more out of control. I could put Obosh to hand, pitch Fury. Arlene. Part of me wants to block, but the other part of me wants to hit Silent Clearing, clear Aether Vial. Yeah, I think hitting Aether Vial is better, but this is actually close. Hopefully I have a card to pitch. I'll ward 1, actually, never mind. So there's a card to pitch, but the issue is alright, this could be really wrong, but that's what I'm gonna do. I'm gonna angle to try to chump block and use the ability. Let's see if they activate this. Okay, they do, but I still mean, at this point, actually, the Aether Bell is kind of redundant anyway. But this is a good chump block. Could save a good chunk of life. Yeah, it's a good chunk of life. Alright, so I have creature, artifact, land. Could put instant, which I think I will. Alrighty. What the? Oh yeah, this got pumped. Dang it, man. Alright, next match. So one of the downsides actually to being forced to play Haywire Mite because of the One Ring is that I don't have Shattering Spree anymore, which is pretty good against Aether Vial. And probably would have won me last game, but what can you do? Yeah, if that Haywire Mite was Shattering Spree, I meant. Not yeah, Shattering Spree. Yeah, then I'm pretty sure that would have slowed them down substantially and probably would have won. That's usually the game plan against humans. Humans is pretty non-existent though, so whatever. I'm not going to warp my deck to beat a deck from 2016-ish. We already know that we beat humans in the previous meta. Just when it's actually a deck we need to be prepared for, they can steal some wins in the current meta. It's it is what it is. I guess less decks are prepared for them, so that's how it oftentimes works. Yeah, this is a maybe actually I should have got the Demolition Field because I'm going to need that other red source. And this is where Blood Moon in the sideboard could be very helpful, and Mages for that matter. Well, there's the mountain I was hoping to draw. I think it was on top too. That's unfortunate. Just in case they have Spell Pierce, let's just play this out. We may need these creatures for aggro. Okay, great, thank goodness. Alright, so we're gonna do this. And I think we're okay, well they made it easy deciding which to pitch. Hopefully they don't have like a gazillion Tasha's Hideous Laughters. So the problem is if I play Seasoned Pyromancer, then I have to pitch the Fury, which is I kind of want to play Fury next turn. In the long run, though, it's probably better to just do this. They probably have a counterspell anyway, and then I'll just play Fury next turn. But I'll probably pitch if they don't. But I have a counterspell. That's fine. That's actually it's better that we played it there because that way maybe our Fury has a better chance of resolving, and we do need to deal a lot of damage quickly in this matchup. And Fury deals literally the most damage of any other card in our deck. It's Maricorp. Okay, that's interesting. Haven't seen that card in a long time. Question is, should I try to destroy it, or should I just play the Fury like my original plan? So this could be a mistake, but I'm going to play Fury. I think people underestimate how important it is to have a clock in this matchup. They milled a land. Please not another drown. Okay, that's fine. Maybe I can connect with Den of the Bugbear. Seasoned Pyromancer is pretty good too. I think I gotta connect with Bugbear while I can. It's just kind of too beautiful not to. I gotta capitalize while they're tapped out, and I think I'm erasing Mesmeric Orb. If they had a removal spell last turn, I think they're digging to one. I'm sure they would have played it on the Fury. So if they are dead next turn, they're dead actually either way. Maybe I should have fired off the Lightning Bolt before they had a counter up. Yeah, maybe so. Or Extirpate. Extirpate would be brutal. Extirpate on the Lightning Bolt. But I feel like holding it up though for a Crab is better, because Crab would also be an excellent chump blocker to Fury. Well, sure enough, there's the Crab. Yeah, let's do this now. I don't know why they didn't Visions first. There's like 0 reasons not to Visions first. Are they this mana screwed? I don't think they might have Fatal Push, but Fatal Push doesn't hit the Fury, but it does hit the Den. Okay. I mean, but I still should go for it, right? Am I out of Lightning Bolts? Lightning Bolt, Lightning Bolt. Lightning Bolt, so I got at least 3. 1, 2, 3. So I got 1 more Lightning Bolt left in the deck. Question is, do I go for it? I could die next turn if they have a Tasha. So maybe I don't want to draw any cards. How many Furies do I have left in my deck? 1. So do I have 2 Furies left in my deck? So I do think I have 2 Furies left in my deck, which does help. It does mean, in theory, I don't think I get Tasha'd out. How many 3-drops do I have left, though? That's because I got 12, because I got Geomancer, so I got 1, 2, wait a minute, let's make sure I didn't miscount the Furies. 1. No, 1, 2, 3, I've got 1 Fury left. Okay, so I got 1 Fury left. And I have 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 5 3-drops. So out of 12, that means I have 7 3-drops left. 7 times 3. 7 times 3 is 21. So I don't, in theory, lose to Tasha. Problem is if they have like what's it called? I think we all know they have to, oh, but I actually lose. I forgot. If I slam Fury, I lose to the Mesmeric Orb, most likely. The odds that they don't have Fatal Push are pretty much non-existent. They actually don't have many ways to deal with the Fury. And as long as I have Lightning Bolt left in my deck, I could just go for Mishra's Research Desk. I think the safest course of action is just attack, put them to 1, that turns off fetches. Maybe they didn't have a Fatal Push, you'd think they'd use it on the Goblin token. Yeah, don't tap anything, maximize the chances that I get to untap. And and I have the option to flashback Sparrow token, but I don't think I lose to Tasha, so I don't think they can one-shot me. And as long as they can't one-shot me, I think I win next turn. Okay, hopefully I did the math right. Yeah, I did. Okay, thank goodness. I would have lost if I would have if they had Fatal Push, which I'm sure they did, then I would have lost. So good thing we did the math. And all right, bloody moon. Let me just set the moon definitely. Haywire Mite could be useful if they have bridge, but I'm gonna rely on Blast Zone, I think. Stone of Erech can be useful. One thing I actually like about Stone of Erech is I can target myself, so in response to like Dawn the Lock, it can be good. Actually, Geomancer plus the moon effects is pretty good. It's one of the reasons it's in the deck. Seasoned Pyromancer. This card says a double-edged sword because the drawing 2 cards is actually a problem. I think definitely Mishra's Research Desk is burning through 4 cards in my library is actually actively not good. I think I need all the Flame Slash, Lightning Bolts, and Unholy Heat to stop the crab onslaught. Alright, believe it or not, I'm taking out Seasoned Pyromancer. As good as it is, it's too much of a double-edged sword. Fable's better because Fable, I don't actually have to force myself to draw cards. Yeah, if I had one more land, I'd probably keep, but I don't think I can. It's just I just lose if I get stuck on 1 mana, or 2 for that matter. Well, I think my odds of drawing a red source in this hand are significantly better than drawing 2 lands with the other hand. Yeah, I think Unholy Heat. If they play a crab, I'll probably have to pitch the Fable, but okay, nothing yet. They're probably going to play crab into fetch. Yeah, they know about the Blood Moon, so they might extirpate it, but oh, that Magus too, so that. Okay, well, I got another Fable I can pitch. At least they're milling mostly 1-drops, so Tasha is a little less lethal. Okay. Well, I still hit most of my 1-drops, even though I've got a ton of 3-drops and Furies in there, but it is what it is. Man, I hate that I have to fire this off, but I have to do this now. Because otherwise, their chances of drawing a trap are increased on their turn, but they probably have at least 1 in their hand, I'm guessing. Nope, thank goodness. I do have a Delirium Instant Sorcery, Creature, Land, Enchantment. Yes, I do. Okay, so I think I have a good amount. I guess all my 3-drops on the bottom or something. I don't think this Magus is going to do it now, because I'm sure they're holding up a Fatal Push, but this is literally my only path to victory. Sometimes, oh, okay. The question is, do we try to Geomancer the island or the swamp, or they just Tasha us and put us out of our misery? I may have to hit the swamp first because the problem is if they got Fatal Push, I turn it on either way because they can just float the mana and then I enable Revolt. Huh. Okay, well that made it easier. I totally would have enabled it next turn with the Geomancer. Or I could have played Fable. Maybe actually Fable is my jam. Maybe I have to hit the swamp like right now. While they're tapped out. Yeah, that's what I'm going to go with. Please don't have another swamp. If they had another swamp, I think they would have fetched it with the polluted delta, but nope. I guess they do have it. Okay, another Tasha. Alrighty. I wonder, I'm sure they have more than 2 islands. I guarantee it. So with 2 swamps, suddenly I'm not feeling Geomancer anymore. Yeah, we'll just do this one. They also randomly mill it. Man, I've got so many 3-drops in this particular version. You know, actually, maybe I should have actually played more 3-drops specifically for Tasha instead of more 1-drops. Well, this hand is pretty good. Hopefully they don't play Preypiercer, because if we don't put anything in the graveyard, they're unlikely to have. Because if they play Crab, I can untap Bolt. And if they hold Crab, then they can't also hold up Drown the same turn that Blood Moon comes down. I think they have to play Crab because I think they realize in order to turn on Drown. Yeah. But if I play Lightning Bolt, I think this forces them to have Preypiercer. Kind of makes me wish I would have held on to Stone. Okay, so I don't think that's going to be... Oh, please don't have Extirpate. Okay. Hopefully they don't randomly have a lot of basics. Should have played this just in case they can remove the Blood Moons. I don't think they can remove the Blood Moon. Okay, so far so good. Okay, what is this? Yeah, this one's, I think, fairly obvious. 1. I shouldn't have let them untap. That was a mistake. What if they have Preypiercer or Drown? Okay, thank God I wasn't punished. That was that was incredibly very dumb for me to let them untap. Just kind of wasn't thinking. Okay, should I even discard the stone? I think 1 card isn't going to make a difference. Backup moon effects. I think I could do worse. Hope they don't slam a Mesmeric Orb because it's going to be a problem. I'm surprised I didn't block. I think I have to do this. The no block is scary though. It makes me think they might have Mesmeric Warrior because they seem to feel confident they're not going to lose the damage. Okay, maybe I shouldn't have untapped. I mean, it's tapped out. I really need them to not hit their next basic island. But I have to try to push damage though, I really do. Depending on how many Furies and 3-drops are left in my deck, I might not be insta-dead too. I believe I have 3 more Furies. One. Okay, so I've got 3 more Furies, so I don't... That alone makes me think, even if they top deck an island, I don't think we're losing to... I don't think we're losing to Tasha. I should play Seasoned Pyromancer looking for a way to clear the crab, because then that's because then I have lethal. Well, they milled over my last my 2 more Furies, so now I do think I die to Tasha. Fury. So let's see how much we got left in our deck here. So I have a total of 16 burn spells. Let's see how many I used. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So I got 4 more. I'm going to risk it. I also have the option to copy my Seasoned Pyromancer. I don't want to do that one, I don't think. I'm going to take my chances. Well, chance didn't work out there. So I guess I lose if they top deck a blue source, but I think I was losing that anyway. I think there it was worth the risk. Wait, they just okay, I guess they forgot about Obosh's damage doubling effect. Alright, I'll take it. Okay. Alright. Last match. This is a mana hungry. I mean, a little bit of a mana heavy hand, but I'll keep it. I wonder where this deluge of scam is. Somebody in the comments to my video said they play against like grief decks every single match. I kind of wish that was the case for us, because I think grief decks are kind of our are kind of like our bread and butter good matchup, but it does seem like people somehow get matched up with different decks. It could be because they're playing at a different time, different region. I'm not sure exactly how the matchmaking works, but this doesn't look like a grief deck either. So we may have to, this one we may have to fight for our victory here. This kind of looks like a amulet or something. Not amulet, what do you call it? A Titan shift. Alright, so this could be a mistake, but I want to get a clock on. Geomancer actually could turn out to be too important. Reduces my clock by a bit though, but I can think I can miss on one elemental token. We're going to be a ways away from whatever anyway. Okay, another one of these. So here's what I think. I think we Field of Ruin this. And we hold up Stone. I don't know where this is taking us exactly. Yeah, okay, well at least if they can't slam Titan just yet, we're gonna really need to hope that they run out of basics. That's not good. Let's do this so we can't, because we won't be able to target them once this resolves. Maybe I should have blocked. What difference will it make? Let's hit this. Let's hit the green source. I think our only hope here is that somehow they're out of basics and they don't have another forest, so they can't cast Titan. Yeah, that's a long shot. Well, at least they didn't have another forest. Unfortunately, the damage prevention means that no point in attacking. Might keep them off of forest if I can survive one more turn. Okay. Uh-oh, I got a feeling we got a creativity coming on. I really want to use the Geomancer on the basic. I guess I drew another Geomancer anyway. So I'm pretty sure they don't have any more basics because they didn't have them last time. Let's see if this forces a chump block. I have to eventually try to kill the... Alright, that's fine. If they have creativity or if just Dwarven tokens are pretty free. We'll need another land if we want a Geomancer and Crackstone. Okay, so that is an option available to us. I think they're out of basics, so I don't think that does too much. If we somehow pull this off, that'll be insane. I need another field for... Man, the problem is though, they draw like a regular mountain, and I take damage off the Dwarven Mine. The race is on, that's for sure. Ooh, well, why didn't they play that? Oh yeah, they couldn't because they didn't have a green source. They can play another land though, that'll be nasty. Oh, Scape Shift, you're right, I forgot I was playing around the Titan. They have actual factual Scape Shift. Or Blood Moon could be helpful. They only seem to have one basic forest, which Geomancer should be able to take care of. Obviously, we need Haywire Mite for the One Ring, so that's that. Alrighty. We're going to presume Magus, but we may not actually end up having room. Den of the Bugbear is sweet, but I have nightmares of this coming into play tap, so we'll take out 2 of these. I don't know about Demolition Field, actually. You know what? I take it back. We'll take out 2 fields. This should be okay, but yeah, because we need to make sure we can cast our moons. I don't think this is a match for Lightning Bolt. So Stone is good, but I'm going to trust that we can deal with Ren and 6 without having to resort to it. That could be trust that is misplaced. Magus is just too easy to Lightning Bolt though, isn't it? But no, but I think that we present a number of other cards that really make them want to Lightning Bolt. We might have to end up taking out Geomancer, because between Geomancer and Mishra, I just feel like Mishra is way more important. Helps us hit land drops. Helps us put an artifact in the graveyard. Geomancer helps put a sorcery in the graveyard, though, plus it can mana screw them. Unholy Heat can hit Titan, though. And Ren and 6. Oh, against my better judgment, I'm taking Mishra out. It's possible Magus was the cut. Yeah, you know what? I think next match, if I get a next match, probably Magus is the better cut. It's too vulnerable to Lightning Bolt. I mean, even though I'm presenting other targets, plus it could get swept away with a sweeper. But Blood Moon is kind of vulnerable to Force of Vigor, though. So unfortunately, that can get their basic forest, but fortunately, we have the Geomancer, so maybe we color screw them this game. We're going to cut ourselves off of a green, but I think it's worth it. So hopefully they weren't sandbagging another forest in their hand or something. And hopefully they don't have... Oh. Okay. I'll take that one. Take that one. Alright, I'm going to stand by what I said last game. I think Mishra has got to be the better of the two. And actually, you know what? What am I thinking? Blast Zone can be good, but I think between Blast Zone and the field, I think Blast Zone is the easier cut. Okay, last minute change. I'm taking out Heat for Magus. Reason being, the moons I think shut off Dryad pretty well anyway, and they also double up because they shut off Scape Shift. How confident am I that I can draw Red Source? Confident enough. I don't think I can mulligan this one. Okay. Go to Ruin. I guess maybe we'll get lucky and they'll Boseiju the field. They can't Boseiju the basic forest, so if they play Ren and 6, at least we have Fury. I might actually just pitch the Blood Moon, because putting out 2 Blood Moons is just asking to get Force of Vigor. There we go, we got the Red Source. So they can probably deduce we have another Blood Moon from that, but I think that's correct. It's important that we actually have some kind of pressure. So I do want the Fable. Reasonable. I got a feeling they've got to have Force of Vigor. I mean, there's just like no way, right? Well, I mean, you think they would have used it, because they could have played Titan this turn. Oh, maybe they didn't realize that it shut off the... Hopefully we get to play the Den on tap. Okay, basic forest. Alright, fair enough, fair enough. I guess I forgot about Boseiju. I guess that could have been good reason to keep another. I don't want to hit the forest yet because that could get them closer to having enough mountains to use Malakut. Let's see, do they have Scape Shift? They have Titan. Maybe I should not have gotten rid of that Blood Moon. Okay, let's see. Oh, I definitely want to discard land. I think Geomancer as well. I guess I can go after the Valakut, right? I think we're dead next turn because they... Well, the Valakuts aren't necessarily mountains themselves, but they can get 2 Valakuts, and then they can play a mountain, deal 6. I guess I can chump block. Maybe. But I'll probably just have Scape Shift anyway. Yeah, not looking good. I think we could have won that if we would have kept the Blood Moon, but that was ill-advised. Okay, that's man, for a deck with so many lands, they do seem to get what they need. And it's 12, and we can't jump enough. All right, so unfortunately, this one we're gonna have to settle for a 2-3. But in reality, we were just an idiot that last game by ditching the Blood Moon. You know, you'd think that I would have remembered that they could just have basic forest or some way to generate green, could be even like Strike It Rich or something into like Boseiju. But I guess my last experience playing Blood Moon was it got Force of Vigored. So that's what I was kind of thinking, and I was thinking double is not even relevant anymore because of Force of Vigor, but I'm going to blame it on the white border. The white border kind of lulled me into a false sense of this card being less useful than it is. But I don't know that I really want to change anything because in reality we punted by not utilizing these cards to their full potential rather than because of these cards. Also against humans, like it kind of game 1 we just didn't see any Furies, and I think we punted game 3 by not aggressively dealing with their creatures as much. Most likely. I think if I would have blocked that token with the Haywire, focused on killing their creatures more than killing the Aether Vial, which already had done its thing by the time. Yeah. Alright, yeah. But I am kind of thinking that the Obosh version seems a little better nowadays just because Geomancer is kind of overcosted and we get to play good old actual Cleansing Wildfire. And notably, Cast into Fire could have helped against humans, for example. Plus, having access to Obliterating Bolt. Well, I guess Obliterating Bolt is slightly more inefficient against humans specifically than Flame Slash. Shatter Skull Smashing would have been nice against humans. More removal, obviously. Yeah, I mean, where's all those... To all those players who want to quit Modern because you're getting scammed every single game, I don't know, man. My advice would be play this deck because this deck absolutely dunks on scam, but you'll never actually play against it once you play this. So if at least you want to break from getting scammed, yeah. All right. Should I do the shout out? I guess I should. Yeah, thanks Adrian King, Gavin Doward, Daryl, B-Train 4, Savage O's, Jules Varro, Kevin Rubach, Ronald Schonerman, S. Robertson, HJ, CLIU, Sophus Garrett, Erwin Lopez, Stanley Franks, Jeff H., Brian H., C. Cole Smith, Andrew Watts, and Michael Patton. All right. All right, till next time.